Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. My name is Lindsay Dollinger, and I am the owner of At Last I See the World Travel Co. And today I'm answering a question that I get a lot, which is, do people still use travel agents? And it's a valid question because that is something that I had said prior to becoming an agent myself in 2019. And with so many online booking tools like Expedia and Airbnb, people assume travel agents are outdated and that saving a trip on your own saves time and money. One of the things that I get asked a lot is about fees that I charge. And the reality is, and I'm going to share 5 reasons why travel agents are still in demand. And even more so, the industry is projecting major what's the correct word? I want to say gains, but does gains make sense? Gains, but growth is a better word in the travel agent industry in 2025, just like it saw in 2024. So the post-COVID boom of travel is definitely here. So if you were watching this live, it's going to be super short and quick, but drop a live or drop a replay so that I know. And let's dive in. Okay. Number one reason that people still use travel agents is our expertise. We know the best destinations, we know the best deals, we know the tips that online platforms don't offer. And I can tell you, I have been traveling the world ever since I was really since high school. We didn't leave the country. Well, we went to Canada, we went to Mexico, but we didn't leave the continent until I was in high school and I went on my first trip to France. And so ever since I started that France and England trip, I loved traveling internationally. And my family was already traveling nationally, doing national parks and beach trips and all those sorts of things. Disney World, which is my fun background right now that I just got set up and I'm kind of obsessed with. And so anyway, long story short, I've been traveling for a really long time. Since becoming a travel agent, though, there are so many suppliers, so many companies that I didn't even know about that offered trips to different destinations and that offered hotels, and everyone has their own kind of flavor. And so that's one of the perks of using a travel agent is we get all the details about all these suppliers. Actually, it can be overwhelming if we let it be. That's what I tell my new travel agents on my team. Like, okay, just focus, pick one, start there, and then add them on. But there are a lot that the general public just doesn't know about without going through the trainings that we go through. So definitely your travel agent is going to have a lot more expertise than the general public. The number 2 reason that people use travel agents is customization. Every trip is tailored to fit your needs and preferences. That's why, I have a quote form, and I have quote forms for if you're doing a cruise, if you're doing a Disney trip, if you're doing a non-cruise or Disney trip. And then I hop on calls with people, but I really want to make sure that the trip is tailored to meet your needs. And that's something that you're not going to find, necessarily just by booking a group package, for example, or a tour that's already set up for you through another company. But I'm not going to knock on tours though, because I do love tours, and I'm leading one to Egypt in June and July, which, side note, we still have some spots left open if you want for that. And I do recommend tours from time to time. But again, that's that customization piece where if I really know what you're looking for, I'm able to help you decide if putting together a customized itinerary is better, or, doing a group tour is more your style. Number 3 reason that travel agents are still very much needed is it's time saving for you. We handle the research, the booking, the troubleshooting so that you can relax. Like, you tell me what you want, you tell me what you need, you give me the number to pay for it, and then your trip is planned, right? And so that, on the back end, I think a lot of people don't see what we put into doing trips, and definitely each trip is different. This is one of the reasons for years that I specialized just in Disney, and I still very heavily do a Disney market, is because that's my zone of genius. That is something that is a lot easier for me to plan than like a trip to China where I have never been, for example. Now, can I say that I'm not going to plan that? No, but a trip to China is going to take me a lot more time and energy to plan than a normal trip to Disney. Now, there are definitely trips to Disney that are more complex, especially, if you're going there for like a wedding, for example, versus your 7-day family vacation. But again, that time saving perk, like, we are doing the work on the back end while you can relax. And then also, for those of you listening to this who have been considering becoming an agent, and you're like, well, I don't have a lot of time as it is. That's why I recommend specializing in something that you really, really know at first, because those things are going to be easier for you to do. And then you're going to have like one or two suppliers that you're really comfortable with their website, you know how they work. And so when you go in there, it's just going to save you a lot of time as the advisor as well. So I also coach travel advisors. So the time saving piece goes both ways, but travel agents can definitely save you time for your trip and stress. Like, let's be real, who wants to spend all their time researching things when it's really easy for a travel agent to do that? Number 4, and I get asked this one a lot, exclusive perks. Travel agents often have access to upgrades and discounts and experiences that you can't find online, or they're really hard to find online. Now, a lot of times, though, we do still see the same sales or the same prices you see, but depending on the agency, depending on the company, the supplier, sometimes we can also add additional things in or find things that, are running right now that you didn't even know about. And because you didn't know about it, you couldn't apply it. So my inbox, it would probably overwhelm you if I showed it to you, is flooded every day with different promotions that different suppliers have going on right now. And so that's what I was talking about with the first point with the expertise, is that because we are registered with a lot of different suppliers, I get all these different emails. And so, for example, I have a client who we're hopping on a call this week to plan a European, like 10-year wedding anniversary trip for them, which I'm so excited about. And I have been saving them this week. I've been getting emails about different deals in Europe for trips that are booked in January, trips that are booked and traveled, in 2025, different things like that, that are suppliers that the normal public aren't going to be able to see. So we have access to those sorts of things that you're not going to be able to get all of the time, which is really cool. I love being able to tell people like, I can save you money. Or two, once a trip is booked, like once Disney trips are booked, for example, Disney's a really good example of this. They will roll out specials throughout the year. And so when the specials come out, I can still go in and apply to already booked trips, which is really cool, because they don't usually apply or run specials like super far out. So for example, there's no specials right now for the second half of the year, but like summer specials, they're starting to trickle out with Disney. And so those are things that I can go into already booked trips and just click a button and add, and it saves you time. And if you were doing it, you would have to call or log in and sometimes even cancel your registration or your reservation, remake it. And I handle all of that, which leads really well into my 5th point, which is support. So if something goes wrong pre-trip, on the trip, post-trip, you have someone, me or whoever your travel agent is, to call, to connect with, to send me an email and to find out, what's going on, what are my options, what is the best way that I can handle this. One of my best examples of this is I booked a trip for 2 people. I think it was also a wedding anniversary trip, if I'm not mistaken. And this was right after COVID, when travel was just starting to open back up, especially international travel. And it was a trip to Jamaica. And that was back when you had to get COVID tests within a certain period of time, and you had to upload your negative results in order to be able to go. But then they forgot to do it. And so I spent a little bit of time finding out how to contact the Jamaican health ministry, what were my options, all these things. And I was able to get the clients still on their trip. But if that was someone not working with a travel agent, that would have been extremely difficult to handle and, manage those things. Another common thing that ends up happening a lot with my Disney families is they get down there and then, someone gets really sick, and they want to know, can we either leave early or can we move these tickets to a different date so that we don't lose our money? And the answer is always usually, but let me call and see what I can handle, what we can do for you. And so I love being able to support my clients that way, so that if something goes wrong, you just have someone else in your back pocket to help you through all of those things. I want to share one more example. I recently helped a family plan their very first Disney cruise. And these are people who knew absolutely nothing about cruising. And this is so fun for me because one, I love Disney. Two, I love cruising ever since I have done it. And so I was able to help them not be overwhelmed with all the options, found them the perfect itinerary, got them a room upgrade, made sure they had, dining reservations because they wanted some extra things for themselves. And it was all super stress-free for them. I was able to explain the process so that they didn't have to watch a ton of YouTube videos online and read articles, and it just makes it super seamless from start to finish for your vacation so that it's truly actually a vacation. So I hope that answered that question for you. I'm going to make sure to save this video and share it when people are like, wait, people still use a travel agent? I'm like 100% yes. I have several quotes I need to do this weekend in my inbox for trips coming up. And yeah, it's just super fun. So if you're planning your next big adventure and you want an expert by your side, definitely reach out. I would love to help you. I will drop the link. It's lindsaydellinger.com/travel agent links, but I'll drop it, or you can send me a DM and I'll send that to you and get you a quote. And then if you're listening to this and you're like, man, that sounds like really fun. It sounds like something that I would love to do as well. Definitely reach out because we do have info sessions about how you can become a travel agent as well. And I would love to get you hooked up with one of those. So have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will talk to you so soon.